Welcome back. In this one, I'm going to show you a standard table and heat maps, right? So we're going to start from the basics. Let's get rid of this. So let's just clear that using the clear button. And the most common way to show data is in a table, right? It's the most kind of fundamental form. So let's go ahead and build something pretty simple. Let's try and use that category, subcategory thing again. So I'm just going to get rid of these in the hierarchy. We don't need them. Let's get rid of product name. Let's get rid of segment. So let's bring category in here. Actually, segment would have been good for this. Let's bring segment in here, right? So we now got a table. Maybe we'll bring subcategory as well. So there's something a bit bigger, right? Let's just make that a little bit wider, just so we can see the names, like so. And we're going to bring the sales in. And instead of bringing it into the columns, for example, to do a bar chart, or in the rows to do a column chart, we're going to drop it into label, right? And that's just going to show the value, right? Now, the problem with this is if I go to you, what's the highest or lowest value? Tell me where it is. It's hard to do so without having to read and think about it and process it. So we want to be able to introduce some sort of data visualization to be suggestive to the reader of, please look over here. So if I'm trying to tell my boss, okay, where is our weakest area? It needs to be so obvious that within 3 seconds or less, they know exactly where to look. And we do that with color. So if I grab sales and I'm going to drop it into color like so, you'll see that it has now changed. Okay, so let's change this color a bit. Let's double click. Actually, I might go here, edit color. We're going to go to, let's say, orange blue. The lower value is going to be orange, and we'll go okay. So now we can see it a little bit better, right? Still not super obvious which one the lowest is, okay? So we're going to actually change this coloring to be a heat map, right? So we want it to be a square coloring. And the way you do that is, once you've introduced the color, we click here and we go square. And now we have a heat map. So I can actually see that our lowest is around this area, okay? There we go. And if you want to see it in another way, you can have just a single color. So if I double click this, let's go to red, right? And we can go apply to have a look. You can see that here it's a lot less, right? And go okay. And that is your basic heat map. The things I would edit here is, you notice how all the values are right justified. They're on the right side of the table, right? I want it to be in the middle. And the way you would do that is if you click on label, alignment, and you just pick this one. And that puts it in the middle, okay? The next thing I want to be able to see is the grand totals, right? What is the total of consumer? What is the total of appliances? What is the total of accessories? I want to be able to see that really easily, okay? And the way you would do that is we're going to use this new menu, which is right here, okay? So we're going to click on analytics, and again, it's drag and drop. We're going to grab totals, and you'll see that this new menu has just popped up here. So if I drop it back here, it'll disappear, right? And if I drop this on column, we now have column totals. There we go. That's it. We still haven't touched our keyboard, people. We drop it on row. We now have row totals. And if I want to get rid of these at any time, I just click on grand total, right? Just a left click and you wait, right? If you click it and you move it far away, it disappears, right? So just click, wait, remove. Okay? Click, wait, remove. And I can always bring that back in, right? I can also get rid of these this way. If I click on analysis, I go totals, and I can untick these two. All right, that's another way to get rid of it. Let's put them back in. All right. I can also add subtotals. So within each of these sections, you're going to see a subtotal. So we'll go ahead and grab subtotal and drop it into subtotal. And we now have this value. Now, one of my problems with this particular view, I'm actually just going to get rid of that. Right. My problem with especially the subtotal is it looks like it's just another item in the subcategory. I want this to look different, right? And the way you would adjust this formatting is if I right click on this, I go format, and then I go into, where's it, total, here, totals, right? And I'm going to go bold, and let's say maybe red, okay? That's it. And now it's at least noticeable that it's not an entry, because very quickly you could accidentally add these 5 numbers together, thinking that they're all separate numbers, okay? So you just got to be careful with that. All right, so we now have the totals, and I think that's everything I was going to teach in this one. Let me just check. Oh, sorting. I think that's the only thing I'm going to teach. So let's say I want to sort the grand total, highest to lowest. Let's actually get rid of this total for a second. Right? I want to order it by the highest for the grand total. If you hover, you're going to notice this little icon. If I click that, this will now be sorted, right? But it will be sorted within each of their subcategories. All right, so do that again. So now I can go lowest to highest. I can do the same thing for each of these, right? You can even do it this way, I think, right? You can see highest to lowest, or you can go highest to lowest, right? There you go. So all of it you can sort. And that's pretty much it for the heat maps. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.